Creating animations in SOLIDWORKS Composer is very simple and easy to do. There's a lot of different ways to get started, but here's one example of what you can do. So I've started out with some existing views, and these views represent snapshots. They control not only the display style, such as hidden lines or silhouette edge or shaded, but they also do things like narrow down to only specific components or pieces, do things like cutaway views, or add descriptive information such as arrows. In this example, what I'd like to do is create a quick animation that shows how I can create and very quickly display and save out a video showing how to pull off one of these panels. Now if I jump into the timeline, you'll see that I have an empty timeline at least to get started with, and I'm going to start out the view with one of these. So I'm just going to drag this view down to the timeline, and that's going to be my 0 point, my starting point. And you can see not only did that view save the position and the visibility of all the components, but it shows where I'm going to be working. The next step is to go ahead and remove the knob, and I've created a view for that with arrows. I'll drop it on there. Not only does it go ahead and create the movement of the knob, it creates little markers here in my timeline so that I can quickly get back to that. I'm going to go ahead and fade in a couple of things here. I've got a couple of arrows that I want to fade in, so I'll just go ahead and say fade in on those. And we'll see what this looks like. Let me turn these arrows on. And like I said, we'll do that fade in effect here. Then the next view, we will do the movement of the arm. Or actually, I guess we're going to drop on the knob is all the way off. And we'll show another one with the arms fully moved. Go ahead and play this through just to show you what this looks like. You can see the animation shows the movement of each component one after the other. Now, this is a very simple example, but you can see the arrows. I got a little bit of work to do to get the arrows to look just the way I want them to. But it moves off that component and then brings the arm along with it. Now I may decide that I want to go ahead and do a few additional things. So one thing I can do is select this component, for instance, and I may want to rotate it. So I didn't get that in my view, but I'm going to go ahead and set that. So I'm going to go ahead and set a key for this. And then once we pull it out to here, we'll go ahead and set it to where it's done spinning. Oh, that's the wrong direction to spin it. There we go. So we should see this thing spinning as we go. So you can see using the views, I simply drag and drop. Or I can manipulate the views and the arrows as we go. With just a few more clicks, I'm able to quickly create the animation, save this out as an AVI file or any kind of file format that I need, and then these same views can be used for printed work instructions, operators manuals, any kind of documentation that involves a very clear and concise visual description of what's going on inside your 3D models, so that you can get things documented.